Hi, welcome ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miss Anime. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit more reserved this week. I am recording this late at night and I need to be a little bit quieter because my dad is sleeping in the other room. Also, I just got off of I had my first day at work and it was okay. But that's not why you guys are here. You guys are here because this is the seasonal podcast where I produce all the shows I'm watching this season, all the shows I like, what I dislike, basically, whatever shows I'm watching, I go over. I think next season I'm going to be switching to a live format, like I'm going to be on air and I'm going to be live streaming this, so you guys can probably look forward to that. But anyway, first up, I still have not put Dance Dance Censure in the bag. I probably should, but I'm really lazy and I haven't fucking gotten to it yet. But basically this week, Junpei made friends, and it was really cute because, we thought that Misaki was going, and Yamada, I think his name was, we thought they were going to be antagonist characters, but no, they all like each other, and I think it's really nice because on the journey of the protagonist, he has to meet people, he has to find himself, he has to, basically it's about him opening up and letting him learn to have fun and figure out what he wants, but at the same time, learn about himself. And one of the things we know about Junpei is he's very dedicated to dance, but he doesn't know how to dance with other people because he's not used to that. He's used to dancing on his own. I'm still dancing on my own. I'm sorry, I had to do that. So it's nice to have him meet other people who can help him in this category. And we do get some hints of a conflict about him needing to figure out if he's gonna stay at the school or not, because as he's being tempted to go back, but he doesn't want to go back. He likes it here, so I think that's gonna come up at a later point in the season, but that's probably not gonna be for a while. Not a lot happened this episode, but anyway, we're moving on to the actual bag, which basically is what you guys come here to see. So next is Mahotsukai Remake. They're still in the village, and it's still, nothing's really happening yet. Like, they basically just set up this village. I think there was something about them going on a quest, but I honestly, the series is very underwhelming so far. The only reason I'm still watching it is because at this point I'm like 7 episodes in, and I'm like, well, I might as well finish it and see if something happens. I probably won't, but I'm curious to see if, like, anything at all happens. So, moving on in the bag, blah, blah, blah. Build, Divide, Code White. So, I was wrong about the girl in the cloak. Initially, when I first saw her, I thought she was going to be I thought she was going to be Teruto, but we clearly see that Teruto is still stuck in the tower. So then I'm like, well, maybe she's Sakura, because we haven't seen Sakura. But then about halfway through the episode, the character, the Miko character, whose name I don't remember, is like, it mentions that she had a sister. I'm like, oh, well, that's who it is. It's her sister. And sure enough, he was right. It's her sister. I still don't remember who Mikhail is, but, I'm glad they didn't. Their battle took up most of the episode, so we do meet the villain. We meet the villain, and he's kind of creepy, but I'm more interested to know what exactly is the final result. What exactly is his goal? What is he going to do with Teruto? Because that's basically why I'm still watching at this point. I wouldn't say the show is bad. I would just say it's kind of middling because it's not incredibly impressive. So, anyway, back to the bag because the bag is where we go. Let's see. So much I'm rendering. So, I like that this episode focused on Yagumo because we got to see more of her as a character, and we got to see that she's very stoic as a person, and but clearly she's also trying to figure out what's going on. I like the fact that she knows how to test the shadow, but I have a feeling at some point the shadows are going to start getting wise, and they're going to start no, her instincts are not going to be correct, because obviously through every loop they learn and they get more powerful. It's entirely possible that at one point she's going to meet a shadow who she doesn't know is a shadow, because usually when you step on their feet, they move away. But what if one of them didn't? What if they learned, or not to do, or maybe that's just part of who they were because they're liquid. I don't know. But I like I said, I like that this episode is mostly about her, because it gives us a chance to see diverging viewpoints. And I like the fact that he just, with the fat one, I forget his name, just opens the door, and she's sitting in there with a hammer, like a literal giant hammer, and I thought that was really cool, especially since his original didn't know, like he wasn't known. I assumed that he was gonna kill him, that when he took his place, he already had killed him. But no, actually, that's not true. No, actually, that's he didn't. So I'm impressed that this show is still managing to hold my interest, and I'm impressed that this show it's a lot better than I thought it would be, because I will admit that this show was, initially the shadow idea was kind of annoyed. 3 days until Mother's Nobody is able to come. So that's the other thing about this show, is that she now knows Shinpei is a time traveler, which I wouldn't really call him that. I'd call him a looper, but that's arguing semantics, so I'm not gonna make a big deal about that. But yeah, she knows that, so maybe she can use that to her advantage, because maybe she can, send him back in time with the information. And I like her explanation of, well, you know what I'm going to do ahead of time, and you know stuff not only that I wouldn't know, but you it's almost like you've done this before, and it's almost like you know what's going to happen, and you know how this is going to work. So I can only guess that you're a time traveler or a looper, in my opinion. But I have a feeling that I do slightly have a feeling that the payoff is going to be underwhelming. Like when we meet Mother, it's going to be some stupid explanation. But anyway, we're going back to the bag, because that is my source. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. Still only interested in the Manabu. It was a big battle between Udius and what's his face, but that's all I remember about that. So next one is Date Alive. So I like the fact that the show is so self-aware that they basically reference the fact that one of the choices is always really, really stupid and, like, outrageous. And at one point, Kotori is like, hey, why is there one choice that's always insane? Like, there's always one choice that's like, tell her you love her, tell her you kiss her, tell her that you're the king of Tahiti and you're going to whisk her away in a magical cruise. I'm sorry, the idea of that is just really funny. And I like the fact that their answer is basically, oh, we don't come up with these, the computer comes up with these. So basically the computer is just completely insane and comes up with the most batshit answers you can possibly think of. I also like the fact that Miku is a little bit harder to close because she's aware of what's going on and she completely understands that this and that, and what he's trying to do. I think the reason she shuts off their memories is because she thinks that she wants them all to herself, which which I'm surprised, which I would hope that once he closes her heart, seals her powers, that goes away, but we'll see in the future. Again, not very much to this show. I like it, it's cute, but we haven't really gotten any big plot so far. So, next one. Spy Family. I like the fact that, they're still trying to deal with Desmond, but it's become very, very obvious that Desmond likes her, and that's the reason he's picking on her. I don't normally like this trope of, if a girl likes you, it means she picks. If a girl picks on you, it means she likes you. I don't like that trope. I think that's a trope that's completely utter bullshit. But I like it in the sense that it gives context to how Desmond is acting, and I think that and I like the fact that Lloyd is so obsessed with getting them to work it out that he's just gonna follow her around the school, and he's just gonna dress up in different costumes to watch her to make sure. I'm surprised they don't find another approach because at this point it's becoming pretty clear that Desmond isn't gonna work, so they probably will need to find an alternate. They'll have to either do something drastic or find an alternate way to deal with it, because they can't, because I hope they understand, I hope the author understands, you can't force kids to be friends. Like, you can't force kids to like each other. That's not how it works. So we'll have to see about that. Anyway, next is Shield Hero 2. So the turtle is finally dead, thank God. But now they've been sent back in time, which is another layer of, oh my God. So they're just going to keep stalling, and they're just not going to deal with the wave for like this entire fucking season, are they? Because now and I don't hate the idea, but it's just another layer of padding, which just kind of irritates me. They've been sent back in time, or at least they've been reset to another world where they're back to their base stats. So I think it should, and a lot of people were asking, where's Raftalia? Well, not Raftalia. Where's Philo? Well, Philo's an egg at this point, probably, in this timeline. I'm guessing she's an egg. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they think that, how they get out of this, and why this happened, because Kyo left, so he's not the reason behind this. It's got to be something else. Maybe it's like last ditch effort of the tortoise to get rid of them. I don't know, but anyway, I'm not particularly sure I care. But anyway, here, next thing. Sorry, not person. Greatest Demon Lord Reborn is a nobody. So at this point, we know that there's some kind of... Do I remember this show? Oh yeah, we're introduced to another girl, and I like the fact that her... Wait, was that? No, that was Shield Hero. My bad. In Shield Hero, we're introduced to another character, and she wields a fishing pole as as a weapon, and I really like that. And I think that's a cute idea, but we'll see more of her next week. I don't entirely remember this week's episode of Greatest Demon Lord. I think it's just more fan service with them, dicking or oh no, it's that they're starting a fighting tournament and Olivia enters Ard. That's a stupid name for a person. But Olivia enters Ard into a tournament, and basically it's I really wish the show were about Ginny, because Ginny's cute, and I like the idea that of the female sidekick needing to become stronger. That would be a great idea for a light novel series. I'm the female female love interest, but I want to be the main character. That would actually be a really good idea for a novel. But that's basically the gist of it. Is that they are in a fighting tournament now. So, and last but not least, Shokai Shoujo Vernon Road. So, something actually did happen last week. I just missed it because I was kind of bored and I was kind of flaking through it. Apparently, she tried to send Akari through this thing. I don't know what exactly it is or what it does, but she tried to send Akari through it, I guess to kill her, I guess. And it's kind of implied that they're starting to fall for each other, which I'm not surprised at because this screams Yuri. But other than that, basically, what is this? I'm sorry, I can't see. That's the thing about me, is that once an episode leaves me, I have a trouble remembering it, and I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on how. I'm trying to work on not that. I'm trying to work on so that with the attempt video numbers. Oh, okay. So now there's a cult. Called the Fourth. I like Manon. I think she's kind of creepy, and I like the idea that she wants Menno dead because she blames her for killing her mom. So Menno now has to stop this drug that's been going around. I also kind of find it interesting that now they're at this ball, and I'm really annoyed by the fact that what's her name? Akari, that's her name. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to remember the series, but I'm really bothered by the fact that Akari keeps forcing herself into this situation. It's really clear that they're trying to foster a relationship between them, but they're doing it by having Akari just butt into every single situation, and it's getting to the point where she's getting in the way, basically. And the show would be just better without her. But I like the idea of a drug that turns people into monsters. The transformation was creepy, and I like Manon. She's kind of interesting. Basically, but the thing about this show, and the thing I realized before, is that there really is no plot. There's, I'm trying to kill her, but they're not doing anything with it. It's not going anywhere. So it's basically just them hitting town after town and solving whatever problems come up in the town. But I don't hate it. I'm just bored by it, and that's why I apologize, you guys, if seem like I'm struggling for words, it's because this season a lot of shows are just kind of not very interesting, and they're basically just as long and padded out. Surprisingly, Summertime Rendering seems to be the front runner so far, which is surprising because I didn't think I was gonna like it. But this has been another episode of Miss Anime Seasonal Podcast. Again, I'm sorry I was so quiet this week. It is 11, almost midnight. My dad is asleep. I had to be quieter. I promise you I'll not be quieter in the future. I just got lazy and procrastinated this time. If you guys like this, you can also go visit my gaming channel. I haven't posted it anywhere. There's it on there in a little bit, but I promise you I will start gaming more on that channel. I also have a RSS podcast called The Media Pit, which is basically a podcast where I go through all the movies and all the media I'm watching during the month. It'll probably stop being about media and it'll probably just be about movies. But so far it's been about movies and media, and then at the end of the podcast I just pick a really bad review subject and I just roast it to pieces. And I'm starting a podcast called The Anime Pit, which is basically the same idea, except instead of I'm just gonna focus on one anime instead of going through, because I already have this podcast and I already have this one where I basically go through all the stuff I'm watching in the season. In fact, I might split the Media Pit and I might make, because I have Miss Anime Seasonal Podcast, and I might do Miss Media's weekly podcast, because that's something I've been thinking about for a while. So you guys can look forward to all of that, and I will see you in the next episode of Miss Anime Seasonal Podcast.